What's up guys, Darkler here, aka Blackheart909. Now I've covered the FUS mod for Skyrim VR, and I've also covered Madgod's Overhaul on Skyrim VR, and my opinions are that the FUS mod runs pretty much perfectly, but it does lack a little bit in the visuals department. It is my preferred way to play Skyrim VR, but when it comes to visuals, Madgod Overhaul does have an edge. However, Madgod's Overhaul on my 5080 runs at somewhere between 50, 45, and 60 FPS, while FUS runs at a stable 90 FPS. To get Madgod's Overhaul to run at 90 or 120 FPS, I need to start using Synchronized Phase Warp or ASW, which adds a ton of latency in there. Now, I've been looking for a balance between the two for quite a long time, and I've seen Reddit posts from a user called Comfortable Tier 982, and his YouTube name is Danilo Milenkovic, and I'll link it in the description below so you guys can check him out. And he's made a mod list that looks quite incredible. It has a medieval dark fantasy look to it, while also performing very well. So it runs on his 3080 at 90 FPS almost all the time, and I found this to be quite an impressive mod pack. So today we're going to be interviewing this Reddit user, one of my channel FUS, and we're going to be asking him about his mod pack, which is upcoming. This entire time he's had like 2,000, maybe even 2,300 mods that he put together, and he's been uploading screenshots on his Reddit profile, which I will link to as well in the description below, so you guys can check it out yourself. And I think it just looks absolutely gorgeous. The knights in his game look really dark, really what you'd expect from a medieval time period, and me personally, I'm absolutely blown away by the way it looks on his system. So without further ado, I'm gonna cut now to the interview with Danilo. Okay guys, we are live and we're here with the interview. This is Dan. Dan, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I mean, pretty quickly, my name is Dan. Most people know me as Patka over on Discord and Reddit, and I'm the guy that's been posting those screenshots that for some reason get a lot of traction. I'm not sure why, but yeah. I don't know if you want like a longer introduction about like what I do for a living, or if I like long walks on the beach.
Well, I think that's pretty much what I've known about you this entire time. I've been stalking your Reddit profile and just figuring out how I can get these mods for myself as well. And then I saw the news that you're making a mod list of your own, which probably is still in the works.
No, the thing about that is that I got it pretty much set up for like the first beta or whatever, and then I had the very painful realization that you actually have to have all of your mods downloaded in order to put it into a Wabbajack, and I have exactly 0. Because I've been emptying my downloads folder for like the better part of 2 years while making this, and when I tried compiling, I was just like, oh shit, I actually need everything downloaded. So in order for me to make a list right now, I would actually have to go through 2K mods and like download every single one of them, and I just don't have the energy for that right now. So that is definitely on an indefinite hold, but in the meantime I did put up my my weather edit up on Nexus, which I don't know if I've linked you that. I probably haven't yet. Let me just see if I can find it. I mean, if you type Patka into Discord, it's pretty much the only thing. Oh, not Discord, Nexus. It's pretty much the only thing that comes up. It's an edit of Mythical Ages, and it's pretty much the baseline of the visuals that I have. So I can at least make that available. But as far as the mod list goes, that's pretty far down the line. I don't think I'm gonna have the time for that right now.
Okay, could you tell us a little bit about your rig that you're running it on? I was actually surprised to
Yeah,
see you run on a 3080.
yeah, it's a 3080. I mean, originally I was running a 3060 for the better part of my, let's say, Skyrim VR experience. I managed to snag a 3080 for like $200.
Wow.
Like, yeah, it was a pretty nice deal. Um, 3080, I think it's a Ryzen 5 5600G and like 32 gigs of some random RAM I managed to find. On a Quest 2,
Hmm.
which is falling apart as we speak, but it's still holding on somewhat. Other than that, nothing special. I'm running virtual desktop, and I've spent a lot of time optimizing pretty much everything for it to run the way it does. It did take quite a while, but yeah, that's pretty much what I'm running right now.
I noticed on your YouTube videos you had, as your runtime on virtual desktop, you had VDXR plus OC. What's the plus
Oh
OC
yeah,
part?
like yeah. So if you're running a Quest, or I think Pico headsets have that as well, you gotta run Open Composite. It's like 10 20 FPS on top of what you're getting, because these like OpenXR native headsets, they really struggle with Steam VR. It's
Hmm.
gotten better recently, but when I started making this list, it was terrible, and just running Open Composite on top of everything is just a lifesaver. It gains me like literally like 10 15 FPS. So Virtual Desktop did actually come up with their own implementation of Open Composite. So if you do have it, just switch the runtime to VDXR, and it's pretty much free frames. You
Awesome.
won't get Steam VR though, but yeah, definitely does help.
Okay, on that note, in terms of performance and optimizations, um, you're running on a 3080. It has 11
Oh
gigs
yeah.
of VRAM and
Mine has 10, which is even
10,
worse. Yeah, I've been
10, yeah.
struggling with that a lot. Um, as I said, I've spent a lot of time just trying to fit everything I'm running into that small amount of VRAM and that limited amount of GPU horsepower. So in terms of optimizations, off the top of my head, I'll see. I'm running like, first of all, Open Composite a must, VR FPS stabilizer, all the basic ones like EFPS, SPO. There's like lightened Skyrim that uses base object swapper to like remove um, stuff that's underground or not really visible. I'm running VRAMer, which
Okay.
is also a must if you have 10 gigs of VRAM. Also, on top of that, I did go through a lot of my textures. I used Octagon to downscale them to like 1K. Or 2K in some cases. The thing is that when you run VRAMer on top of your whole list,
Hmm.
unless you select like the really low end option, it only downscales diffuse textures to 2K and doesn't go below that.
Right.
So if you run, for example, into Whiterun and then fast travel to Solitude or Windhelm, you're gonna get a VRAM bottleneck if you're running on a system like I am. So I had to go through some of my landscape textures and maybe a couple of I don't know, city retextures and stuff like that, and just go through Octagon and downscale stuff to 1K where I was struggling. But it turned out pretty well. Aside from that, let me see.
Are you
Uh,
using DLSS or something similar? Like,
no, DLSS hasn't worked for quite a while with community shaders. I think it was from 0.8 and upwards, I think that DLSS just does not work properly with community shaders. You get a lot of artifacting and stuff that uses like SSR and reflections and stuff like that look pretty messed up if you do any kind of what's it called, like upscaling, downscaling. I am using OpenXR toolkit to apply fixed foveated rendering on top of everything, which does make the edges of your screen a bit white when you walk through foliage, but it does add an additional maybe 5-6 FPS. But yeah, community shaders is a big part of why this list is optimized properly. They did add some solid VR optimizations in the later builds. I don't know if FUS and MGO use the newer versions of CS. I mean, you'd probably know a bit better.
I think for MGO, I've used the option for FSR 3.1 plus DLAA, and that cleans up the image significantly. I'm running at like 84% resolution scale, and then DLAA just smoothens it up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know why, but when I'm running TAA because DLAA is like 20 FPS for me. I can't really afford that. But it just makes the image a lot blurrier for me. It's kind of muddy. Could be that I'm running a lower resolution than you are, but I don't know. It's just, for me, it's never looked that good. But then again, TAA is a bit shimmery at times, so I don't know. There's no middle ground for me, really. They are like, it's been not even a day since they released a test for DLSS upscaling for community shaders. Yep. But it's not available for VR yet. So by the time you do upload this video or whatever, it might actually be able to run in VR, but that's a bit down the line.
So let's talk about visuals and atmosphere.
Yep.
And I like the medieval dark fantasy look. I like the fact that there's very little lighting, especially at nighttime. It makes me feel like I'm outside in the dark back in the day.
Yeah.
What made you choose this? And what made you go for this?
So that's pretty much the aesthetic I've tried to get in Skyrim for a long time. I started running like cathedral weathers, and they look good for a while, but some places I didn't really like. And then I found Mythical Ages, which looks pretty great, and there's also like an HDR add-on on top of everything that works pretty well with CS. But I didn't quite like some of the more saturated parts of it, so I went into Xedit and banged my head on it until it looked the way I wanted to. And I combined that with Supreme Weathers and also Supreme Sunrises and Sunsets. And on top of that, I'm running Vanilla Nights, which makes the nights, honestly, in my opinion, look a lot better than Mythical Ages does it. Mythical Ages has very orange and green lights. The auroras really affect the lighting, and I didn't quite like that. So as I said, yeah, you can definitely download the preset I made for Mythical Ages. It does make stuff a lot nicer, in my opinion. On top of that, I'm running Obsidian Mountain Fogs, and there's this DALC fixed preset, which kind of fixes the directional lighting, the native directional lighting of Skyrim. And I don't know if it's in the Nexus release of community shaders, but the test build I'm running has basically EVLAS for VR, integrated into community shaders, and that also adds on to the visuals.
Other than that, reshades? Yep. Sorry, are these reshades? Are these texture replacers?
No. So
modding?
Oh no, you're fine. So these are basically like weather mods and add-ons for that. I am using a reshaded. It's like glam up glamour or something like that, but I'm only using that for like the image sharpening and the ambient occlusion because I really can't run the one from CS. It's pretty hard to run. But no reshade other than that.
Okay.
Also, I'm using one of the more recent test builds from community shaders. Let me just see which one. Most of the screenshots that I posted are using like that IBL test build, which adds image-based lighting, and it looks really nice on top of everything.
Okay.
But the recent ones, I think, actually managed to fix eye adaptation in VR, which has been a big problem for a long time because your eyes, the native eye adaptation that Skyrim uses, for some reason, hasn't really been developed for VR, so your eyes adapt at different times, and it can get pretty nauseous.
Mhm.
So what I used to do is just disable eye adaptation and the innies. There's a way to do that. It's kind of weird, but recently with the new Nexus release, I think they actually managed to fix that in community shaders, which is pretty nice.
So you really spend time
Um,
like fine tuning and tinkering with the
Oh yeah, I don't
ionized.
know. It's a borderline an obsession at this point. I don't know why. It's just fun to tinker around. I just see a spot that I don't like, and I'm just like, oh, I gotta fix that. So I exit the game, and I'm like, how the fuck do I fix that stuff? For water, I'm using Simplicity of Sea with oh god, I don't remember the guy's name. Uh, there's an edit of it on Nexus. I can't remember
I'm
what it's
sure
called right
someone
now.
will,
I'm
someone
sorry.
will point it out in the comments.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely. I think it's like Davo or something like that. I'm not sure. Yeah,
you
go ahead.
mentioned that you'd be able to stream some of this gameplay. Do you think that'd be possible?
Oh, sure. I can boot up Skyrim right now. Let me see. I hope it's okay if I like stream it over Discord because
Yep.
I don't know how else I would get it to you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Um,
I'll be using some
mhm.
B-roll, some of this footage, just mix it
Oh
up a
yeah,
little
sure.
bit here and there so people have something to
Yeah,
look at.
I did tweak the list a little bit since the latest screenshots, but it should be the same thing. So now we gotta wait for the obligatory like 5 to 10 minutes for Skyrim to launch,
Okay,
because
yeah,
that's
that's another
the
interesting
norm.
part. So Madgod
Yeah,
Overhaul takes ages to launch, and
yeah.
FUS is pretty
It's
snappy, and I think FUS Heavy takes ages as well. What do you
oh
think
yeah,
the load
I've
time
talked to.
here is?
For me, let's say I've so we can measure it. I started like 15 seconds ago. Let's see how long it takes.
Okay.
Um, I've talked to, I think it's Quite, or no, it's Kangar over at FUS. Those guys really know what they're doing. Like that's a straight up professionally made mod list, and I'm really impressed at how they do it. Because when you actually do try making it, you run into so many hurdles along the way. It's insane, and they actually managed to publish it and make it available and make it work for people, which is
Mhm.
insane. Very impressed by that.
I imagine
As
there's
far as
like
MGO goes, yeah, go ahead.
conflicts with the load order and all of
Oh
this
yeah,
stuff that you have to figure
a
out.
bunch of that.
Yeah.
I have struggled a lot with mine, but I managed to get it to a point where it's somewhat stable, at
Okay.
least. So okay, it's booting up right now. It just got me
You were
into
saying
VR.
as much as far as MGO goes or something? Sorry for
Oh
interrupting.
yeah, so I really haven't messed with MGO that much, so I am not sure how those guys do it. I've just seen it's a big mod list, and for me it looks a bit too oversaturated. So I was like, nah, I don't want to mess with that.
I honestly
All
feel the
right.
same way. I like the fact that MGO has some really good texture work. The lighting in
Oh yeah,
MGO and the shadow and ambient occlusion is something that stands out to
absolutely.
me.
That's another thing. My whole thing I've tried to do with this list that I ended up doing is I've made pretty much like 95% of the textures PBR, like physically based rendering. It really it really helps the overall visuals because everything reacts to lighting and sunlight, other lights properly. So not a lot of things look out of place, and like brings the whole image together, and I love it. Also, like the usual, we got DinDuLOD and LODGen for LODs. I run it at medium settings with occlusion set to 3, which does help with FPS a tiny little bit. Also, one of the things that helps me run this properly is that I had to undervolt my GPU because the 3080 just does not want to cool itself. I have that stupid blower model, and it as soon as I boot up Skyrim, it used to just ramp up to 93 degrees and stay there, and that hurt performance a lot, so I had to tweak. Okay, so Skyrim's up. I don't know, that was like couple minutes. So let me see if I can stream this to you. Okay, streaming channel. Give me a second.
Are you using your eyes inside the headset or outside? I always
yes, I am.
struggle with this. Okay, sweet. Your stream is live. We have
all right, perfect.
Going.
Let me just boot into VR, and hopefully I have a save that is functional. I've been testing some stuff out. Let's see if it boots.
Okay.
So it's a bit loud. I'm gonna have to lower the volume when I get in. Okay, so yeah. Also, another thing that really helps performance. Actually, let me lower the volume, and then I'm gonna talk about that.
Sure.
So it comes up clean. Come on. Okay, we're in. So let's see here. Audio. Okay. So another thing that really helps if you can you see the overlay?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, perfect. So if you can see it's like render resolution 96%. The reason that is because virtual desktop has this.
I don't see the virtual desktop overlay. Sorry.
You don't?
Yeah, I see an HD T SMP metrics, and I see a preset that says.
Oh.
Fuck.
Do you see the game?
Yeah, I see the game.
Okay, never mind. So essentially, virtual desktop allows you to do a cutoff, which basically cuts your whole stream by a percentage. So I set the, what is it? I think it's the horizontal or whatever the first one is to 96 and the other one to 85, which still, for some reason, gets my whole FOV. It still looks pretty much the same, but it adds a lot of performance. So yeah, I hope you can see what I'm doing here. My headset is really struggling to keep up here with streaming and everything. But yeah, we're in Riverwood.
What you said about the FOV slicing, I think VR Dad also mentioned this. He does 90% on both for MGO, and it's really nice. It looks good.
Yeah, it really helps with the performance, but I found that anything below 96 for the first slider is really visible in games. So I kept it at 96, but lowered the second one, which I don't really notice. I think it's the top and bottom, and looks really nice. So yeah, I've been messing around with Riverwood lately. I added the new like Riverwood Falls mod, which looks really nice, but has a single seam over there, which really bothers me, but I can't be bothered to fix it. As far as grass, I've been trying a lot of different stuff. I think Freak's Floral Meadows is probably the best looking one, and performs pretty well. But I kind of got sick of it, so this is like Cathedral with Skaglendi. There's some mix there. But yeah, again, all PBR textures. This is Vanaheim Landscapes PBR. It's on their Discord. It's still a work in progress, but I think oh, can you see this?
The shadow?
Oh no, never mind. The Quest has an issue, and it's had that for quite a while, where it just pops up with a set of eyes on screen
Okay,
occasionally,
it's not visible on the
and that
stream.
just happened. Okay, okay.
So
So yeah, any place
what's
you'd like to see?
what stands out to me right now immediately is first of all the color scale. I don't know exactly how it
Oh
looks in
yeah.
VR. I'd like to check
Uh,
that out. Even the signpost, it looks very similar
mhm,
to Madgod Overhaul's lighting because it's PBR.
mhm.
It looks
Oh
really
yeah.
nice, and I imagine at night with like maybe some kind of artificial lighting, like a torch, um, it it does tend
Let's
to
see
look
if
really good.
I have one.
Um,
Oh yeah. It does. It really does. Let's see. If I have my knights set up properly, how they look. There's also this. Oh yeah.
wow.
So I don't know who this is, but all right. Um, yeah, I have this. This is very useful. Brightness settings. There's like interior versus exterior brightness. Whatever the hell. It basically lets you set brightness levels for different times of day, and it really helps because I like my nights to be a bit darker. I do have them a bit too bright here, probably, but either way, they look quite nice. Also, single moon superiority. Like, I'll
Oh,
always go for a single moon. I
okay.
don't know why. Just Master and Secunda really bother me sometimes. But yeah, when there's no moonlight, it gets pretty dark here, and
Are you using
it
any kind
looks
of
really nice.
volumetric mods? Like the lighting does
Oh
seem
yeah,
volumetric
absolutely.
to me in fog.
CS has built-in volumetric lighting, and it works in VR. And recently, they managed to like add a lot of performance to it, and it really does work quite well. Because turning it on and off really doesn't impact your FPS at all at
Okay,
this point.
just that moonlight
Also,
on the clouds and the mountains, it looks very,
oh
very
yeah,
nice.
it does look really nice. Also, I think recently they managed to fix that depth buffer calling or whatever it was. It was pretty broken in VR, made things flicker, but it does add a lot of FPS. So I don't know which one of the guys managed to fix it, but yeah, it works properly now. It's running right here and does help with FPS a lot. Um, let's head over to Whiterun, I guess.
Okay. Just in terms of performance numbers, if you're not
Mhm.
using SSW or ASW, what do you
Oh,
expect to see on base frame rate?
yeah, that's not gonna be great. I am running SSW always on. Like that's what I've built this on pretty much. I don't think the 3080 has enough horsepower to run without the reprojection. I'm not even trying to go for that.
So, but it does look like
But
you're getting a locked 45 most of the time, because that's being
yeah,
reprojected to
like
90.
mm, I'll be honest. Today it's been acting kind of weird. I usually get maybe like um 1 or 2 ms lower than this.
Mm-hmm.
I might have added something weird, but yeah, usually it's like a solid 45/90 most of the time. Whiterun's pretty heavy here.
I imagine
I
the Discord
recently
streaming is adding to it as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. My whole PC and headset is in weird state, honestly. But yeah, okay. This is annoying me. I'm gonna lower the brightness
Okay,
for nights a little bit. There we go. It's better.
so just
So
as
yeah.
a question, in my personal use
Hmm.
case, I'm currently using FUS, and I want my game to
Hmm.
look a little bit like yours. Um,
Hmm.
what would you suggest that I do in terms of replicating um, these visuals that I see right now? Not necessarily the gameplay. I'll wait for that when you have maybe a mod pack or something similar out.
Hmm.
But how would I be able to get
Yeah.
visuals like this into
So
FPS?
really, I don't think it's that hard to replicate this. Basically, I'm not sure which community shaders version FUS uses, but I'd start with getting either the latest one on Nexus or one of the test builds from Discord, like for sure. I've also, as I said, you can look up Patka on Nexus. It has the weathers here, which is basically most of the looks. Really, it's the image spaces and the weather. I think FUS, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't really remember, but I think they use like azurite weathers or something like that, which does look great, but it's not what we have here. This is mythical ages with supreme weathers on top, so that's basically the essentials.
Okay.
You can get that, just basically turn up the features in community shaders. I'm not using all of them. Okay, yeah, bribe, I guess.
And before we conclude, I'd just like to ask you about some of the gameplay changes you decided to add to this. I watched your YouTube video, and you said you said helmet shoot off. You removed stamina, which I completely agree with, and just the other changes you had in mind.
So I'm gonna keep walking here through Whiterun. From what I remember, I am using a slightly different setup here than what I was using in the videos. I don't remember the person's name, but a guy came up with True Armor Evolved, which is really cool. I was using his previous mod, but now he updated this, and it has like it basically makes the armor system a lot more realistic, so I'm using that as a base. I'm messing around with Wildcat on top of that right now for combat, because they have an injury system, which is pretty much the only thing I'm keeping from it. And there's also a mod that adds animations to injuries, so if you apply an injury to an NPC, they're gonna have a specific animation for it, which is really cool. Also, core impact framework is a big thing here, which also has a mod that it's like headshot kills or something like that. I think I have the MCM here. Let me see. Yeah, headshot. So yeah, it's using core impact framework to have like a 50% chance of insta-killing an NPC when you hit the head. And if they're wearing a helmet, it has a chance of removing the helmet, and then you can insta-kill them, which is pretty cool. Also, I'm using, Sanguine Symphony, I think, which is pretty much a replacer for enhanced blood textures. It's much better in terms of like performance and features. Other than that, I got Sunhelm for needs and rest. I have a bunch of quest and new lands mods. Haven't really got to exploring all of that, but I'm trying.
It does look really good. Just one last question from my end. Do you what are you using for the clouds? Like the weather in the clouds, is it the same weather you linked me to on Nexus?
Yes, that's pretty much the weather I have. I'm using as far as textures, I think it's ethereal clouds is the retexture for them, but most of that comes from mythical ages. I also have like clouds all over, which I might actually remove because they don't look that great. It's those little ones that you see there.
They're a little pixelated, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not that pixelated, but they're 2D, so I don't know if I like them. It puts them pretty much, we should probably be able to see it here. Yeah, the ones around Dragon's Reach, I mean, those look pretty good, actually. So I don't know if I'll keep it or not. Yeah, it does
stand out though, yeah. Around the castle.
Yeah, that looks pretty good. I might keep it. Also, there's a new Gilder Green replaced and recently came out. It's pretty cool. Other than that, yeah, this is that guy's water edit. Looks pretty good. I think that's pretty much it.
You've made Skyrim VR look like a completely different game, and this is honestly like this is how I'd want to play the game start to finish.
No,
And
I'm pretty sure you can. It's not that difficult to set this up. Now that I've actually tested everything, I mean it's. Oh yeah, also interior lighting. I'm using Lux and dial plus CS light. That's also really important because
okay,
it makes interiors look really good. I mean these are fucking
wow.
awesome.
Maybe pick up some gems so we can see the dynamic lights. I
Oh
think
yeah.
they're always fun to do.
Um, yeah. So these are pretty cool. I don't
Wow.
remember the name of the replacer. I think Whiterun windows are still a bit bugged. But yeah, I mean we got CS Lite works.
Nice.
What is this? Oh, this is like a
Daedra heart.
Daedra heart.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what is replacing this, to be honest. We got fire salts with lights and like void salts. I don't think they glow, but they look pretty cool. Um, yeah. Also like, oh, these aren't interactable. These are unified potions. I think those look pretty cool.
Oh, they're
Makes
really
all
cool.
of these look like that. Yeah, they're pretty nice. But other than that, yeah, full PBR setup is definitely a must, and you just go from there.
And how did you get the PBR set up again? You
Well,
put
yeah,
your own text.
there's a bunch of texture packs on Nexus. I'm using, like as I said, it's Vanaheim landscapes, but that's on their Discord. This is Tomatoes PBR Whiterun, some stuff from Skyland. I don't know what else. There's a bunch of them. I just you can just basically type in PBR and just go wild.
Awesome.
See what
Well,
they have.
thank you so much for taking the time. I know you were working before this, but just to
No,
do
no,
this
it's a
showcase,
pleasure, really.
it's
It was
honestly
fun.
such a cool thing you've created here, and I hope more people get to see it.
Thank you.
And I hope you come out with a Babajack or a mod list yourself sometime in the near future.
I hope so as well. Trust me.
Is there anything you'd like to add before we do our outro, or is that pretty much it?
Not much really. I mean, it has been a pleasure. This was really fun. I am looking forward to to seeing what you come up with, and if you do manage to set this up, at
I
least somewhat.
Yeah, I'll spend probably the next week trying to replicate what I saw today and see how I can get it integrated. I am quite new to this, the whole modding scene. Like
Mhm.
I've only been doing custom, like pre-installed Wabajack mods like MGO and
Mhm.
FUS. But now I want to tinker around a little bit, try to get it to look a little bit more dark fantasy, and
Mhm.
see how that comes along.
Yeah, it can be pretty daunting at first, but it's quite fun once you get the hang of it. If you do get stuck somewhere, you can definitely hit me up. I'll be glad to help.
Awesome. And if anyone wants to find you, where should they look?
Sure. I mean, you can like I don't know. You can look
Re-
me up on Discord. It's just Patka.
okay.
I think on Reddit, I'm not able to change the Reddit username because it was made a long time ago as a throwaway account and you just kept it. It's like comfortable tier
Comfortable tier.
982.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really dumb. I just can't change it. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Dan, for taking the time.
Uh,
And
it was a pleasure.
we'll stay in touch. Have a wonderful day.
You got it. Take care, man.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this short interview. It was the first of its kind. I might do more in the future, but it was so nice talking to Patka. He was super friendly, showed me everything I wanted to see, and also answered all my questions with patience and um, just pure enthusiasm. Thank you guys for watching. Dark Ruler, aka Blackheart909, signing off.